Oh God, I'm calling out for you. I can't make it without you. The time is now. It's now. Will you answer? Jesus is calling. Hello? Don't let it be too late. Answer the call. He'll never let you. Not too far. He'll never let you down. Answer the call. He's always been my friend. He's not too far. Oh God,
You looking for ways to advertise, market, and promote your music, business, ministry, book, products, or services? Look no further. Answer the Call Radio Network offers tailored packages designed just for you, and we've got prices to match every budget. So visit answerthecallradionetwork.company.site to learn more. We can't wait to help you reach a wider audience. Answer the Call Radio Network, the station that plays music that ministers to the heart, mind, body, and soul.
Well, hello everyone. I am Sister Sharice, and this is Answer the Call. And as you see, I'm by myself today. Hi, everyone out there. Come on into the comments. Let me know what church you're from. I'm from the Church of the Open Door. Reverend Dr. Mark V.C. Taylor is my pastor at 201 Gold Street, Brooklyn, New York. My pastor, not my pastor, I'm sorry. My co-host, Pastor Neil, is on the road, and he's from Emmanuel in Detroit. Keep him in your prayers as he's on his way home. Download Answer the Call Radio. God is taking us to new heights, and now we have a radio station 24/7. But you can reach out, you can hear us if you have an Android, if you have an Apple, download Answer the Call Radio. You can hear us on Roku, Apple 365 Live. Just listen to us. Just go get that app and listen to us 24/7. All right. I'm going to start now with our scripture and our prayer. So the scripture today, I'm reading the King James Version. And come on. And it's Matthew, Matthew 5:9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. And this is the word of the Lord. So today, I am so excited. Today, our guest is SouLah The Legend. She's a writer. She's a singer. She's a rapper. She's a speaker. She's she's everything. She's a doctor. She does it all. I'm going to tell you. She does it all. We are going to talk to her today, and she is going to let us know about everything that she does. And we do know that she is a child of God, okay? So after this short song, we're going to listen to a little bit of Revolution. And after this short song, and you are going to talk to or hear me talk to SouLah The Legend.
power. No longer can we allow her to devour. America has defiled every flower. Survived Jim Crow showers. They filled us, they hog bowers. Big slime, they shot him in the back like a coward. Say his name. From your soul to your chest, say his name. We ain't gonna ever let it rest. Kill the man, but the idea still lives. It's 100 years later, and spirit still here, still clear. Power been with the people. We gave the power to the eagle. Misuse of that same power, that power that became lethal. My voice awakened the sleeper. Every day is playing for keepers. Our brother died for the people. It's from the bleachers who ain't qualified to speak. Blood is thunder under my feet. Press the center of my heartbeat. You violence, I interrupt the street. This is bigger than me. This is spirit of M.E. I'm a servant and blessed to be in ASCII.
All right, everyone. That was Revolution. And let me tell you just a little bit about SouLah the Legend. Okay, like I said, a relevant voice speaking the universal language of the soul. Author, speaker, comedian, vocal artist. Lanine A. Hanaya is a creative influencer and entertainer, better known as SouLah the Legend. She has more than 40 years experience as an award-winning author and keynote speaker. She has spoken at over 300 events and has 6 published titles. In addition, she is a master brand strategist, model, actor, journalist, editor, songwriter, producer, poet, and podcaster. She is founder of Don't Miss Out, which is a nonprofit dedicated to emotional health, trauma, recovery, and suicide prevention. She has also started a movement called Healing Black Love. Healing Black Love is an outreach to restore Black relationships, the Black family, and the Black community. Approaching age 50, having successfully raised 7 children and overcoming multiple suicide attempts, SouLah the Legend refuses to let anything stop her. After suffering unrelenting emotional and physical pain throughout her life, SouLah is now happy, whole, and moving forward like the world is hers. She embraces every day to redeem the years lost to sickness, depression, people-pleasing, and unhealed trauma. And she passionately pursues her purpose. SouLah's path has cultivated a hunger to encourage others to live a meaningful and liberated life. And she reminds people every day through her journey to self-mastery series that only you can make your life matter. Lanine Hanaya is set apart by the relevance of her first-hand experience and her unique and diverse delivery of content through her compelling books, captivating speeches, and distinctive music productions. As owner of Inspired Legacy Publishing and La La Land Studios, SouLah The Legend is transforming lives. Furthermore, she elevates and expands others daily with her comedy and empowering social media content. There is no question that she is determined to live legendary and leave legacy. SouLah The Legend is a relevant voice speaking the universal language of the soul. I will now introduce everyone to SouLah The Legend. How are you, SouLah?
Hey, Sister Cherise, how are you?
I'm doing great. And I am so happy to have you on Answer the Call.
Thank you. I am so sorry my project manager made you read that long bio. I'm going to get him.
Listen, now you know there's more. I actually read half of it. I know there's more, right? But you do a lot of stuff. So I understand.
Right. We got to send you the abbreviated version now.
Oh, well, okay. All right. Let me just say a good shout out to Terry Terrell out there listening or watching on Facebook Live. All right. So let's get into it. First, how is your evening, SouLah?
It's good. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you to Answer the Call for inviting me out.
And we are happy to have
VZ Washington, he referred me, VZ Bonzel.
Okay.
Of the Hip Hop Worship Experience. Yeah. Shout out.
All right. My boy, that's great. So I don't know. Went to church this morning. How was church if you got there?
Yeah, no, I had a bedside Baptist this morning.
Listen, I know about bedside Baptist. Trust me, girl. I know.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. So you know what? We're going to get right into it. And there's one question that we ask every person that comes on. Our first question, and we're making an assumption, but if you didn't, just answer it the way you need to. When did you answer the call to first salvation and then to your call into your ministry?
That's a layered answer. So I first got born again and filled with the Spirit when I was 12. Okay. Then I had a long period of disconnect. Mm-hmm. But I think that my real launch into ministry was definitely 10 years later when I was 22. Mm-hmm. When I really dedicated myself to ministry.
Oh, amen.
Yeah.
Amen. All right. What kind of ministry? Talk to me. Tell me, what kind of ministry was it that you when you got back into it? You said at 22. What was the ministry and what did you do?
Well, that's a really interesting question. So my ministry the passion for me has always been to people outside of the church. And I've done plenty of ministry in the church. But my heart has always been for people outside of the church because that's where I came from. I didn't really grow up in church. I grew up with a familiarity of church.
I know what you mean.
We went on and off. We would go special occasions, Christmas.
Right.
We had periods where we were members for a year and then didn't go anymore. So it wasn't strong. Wasn't a strong church history. I was out on my own when I was 16.
Okay. Wow.
On the street.
That was early. Yeah.
Very young age, I was out on the street. So that was a tough life of selling drugs and trying to take care of myself. I was a teenage parent. So I went through a lot from those ages of 16 to 22 before I dedicated myself to ministry. So my passion has always been for people outside of the church. So, when I first started ministry, when that call came to me, I was actually at home. I was not a part of any church. I had not been a part of any church for 10 years. This was me actually in my living room about to commit suicide and just asking God to give me a reason to stay here. And basically, what I said to him, and at the time, I was praying to a God that felt like air to me. You know, just
Yes.
are you even there?
Right.
And I'm crying that day. I was crying so hard. You ever cry so hard you start dry heaving? I didn't even have tears anymore. My eyelids were glued open, face all
Uh-huh.
swollen, so, snot trails on my face. And, I was just laying there, like really begging God to kill me though, because I just really didn't want to be here anymore.
Mm.
And after crying for so many hours, because I'm a silly person, and it don't matter what's going on, I'm gonna find a reason to laugh. So after laying there that long and I'm just looking a hot mess, I just looked up. I'm like, God, you really not gonna kill me, are you? And so I said, okay. And I said, if you will just be real to me, I will
Uh-huh.
serve you. And I said, I don't want my mother's God. I don't want my grandmother's God. I don't want rules. I don't want regulations. I don't want a building. I said, all I
Mhm.
want is a friend who loves me. I said, if
Amen.
you will be that to me, I will serve you. And when I said that to him, I always get choked up telling this story. When I said that, this was like
Mhm.
some scene out of a movie. My room was immediately filled with light. There was
Oh,
like
hallelujah.
twinkling lights around me, and I felt a warm air wrap itself around me. Like there was
Mm.
literally arms hugging me. And I grew up pretty much without a father. And
Mhm.
for me, that was the first time in my life I ever experienced a father's love, like a father's unconditional love. And I looked up and I said, I was like, oh my God, you really heard me. Like you're there. And that was it for me. I mean, it was on and popping after that. That was September 29th, 1997. I will never forget the day. So I
Man.
immediately, from my little experience in church and from what I remember,
Mhm.
evangelism was really important. So from that day forward,
Mhm.
I lived in New York at the time. I immediately started going out into the streets and the subways preaching,
Mm.
like
All
by
right.
myself. I didn't have no church, no team, no
That's all
brochure.
right. That's all
I
right.
would wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and I would get on the New York subways by myself, just telling people that God loves them and that he was real. It's like he spoke to me, he's real,
Mhm.
he'll be here for you.
That's
So
all you need.
the
That's all you
highways,
need.
the highways and the byways have always been my pulpit. I've spent plenty of time in the actual pulpit. I preached at some very big churches,
Mhm.
but
All
for
right.
me, my heart is always to the person that feels like they don't deserve to have a relationship with God, like they're
Mhm.
not even good enough to step into a
Yeah.
church.
And you like you said, you don't have to step into a church, right? You don't have to. Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
So, talk to me about. I'm trying to figure out, should we go to the book? You know what? I would talk to me about your comedy. I'm like, this girl is a comedian. Everything she speaks, and you said yours is nice and clean, and we love that kind of comedy, right? With no profanity, none of all of that.
Yes, I do
You
clean
know,
comedy because I want anybody to be able to listen. Now it's edgy.
right.
I'm gonna deal with
It's
some real issues.
all right. That's all right.
Make you laugh at some things that gonna make you feel a little guilty.
Nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I got into comedy. My passion to do comedy really was birthed out of my struggle with suicidal depression.
Oh,
So I
okay.
wanted to do, yes, so I have an extensive history with suicidal depression. I've attempted suicide multiple times in the past. And in my search to overcome that depression, I decided that I wanted to start this nonprofit, Don't Miss Out, which is
Mm-hmm.
dedicated, don't miss out on life. There's so much living to do, which is dedicated to suicide prevention, trauma recovery, and emotional health. And I thought healing and humor just go together so much. Like the
They
Bible says,
really, yeah,
laughter doeth
yeah.
good like a medicine, and nothing makes you feel better than laughing. And I thought
So
in
true.
comedy, a lot of times I notice that comedians, they can get really dark sometimes. They will start
Yeah.
to make jokes about some really dark things that have happened to them. And I notice this a lot more with Black comedians, where
Yes.
they will make jokes about being molested, being beaten,
Uh-huh.
being poor, racism. And I get it. I get that
Right.
we're laughing at that. And I
Uh,
love that we can laugh through it. But I always feel that there's something missing at the end. It's okay. So I numbed you up with laughter, but I don't want to send you away just laughing at something that is a core trauma for you. Let's
right. Because
so
it should, you gotta, right. Because you should come out of it, right?
right,
Yeah,
right, right.
yeah,
You're laughing there, but when you go home, it has opened up a wound, and you're thinking
right,
about what your
right.
stepfather did to you, or how your
Uh-huh.
used to, or
Right.
whatever. And so I wanted to do this show called Healing and Humor. This is how the
Mhm.
idea first came to me.
Okay.
It never happened, right? Because all this
Mhm,
life happened, and I was still struggling with suicidal depression myself.
mhm.
I
Oh,
wasn't even past that. So what I ended up discovering, I did this whole like 2 year, 3 years almost of just this really intense focus on trauma recovery. And I
mhm,
was doing trigger mapping and meditating and really like trying to remember all of my trauma, because these are what my trauma therapist told me to do. I did like EMDR
mhm,
therapy. I did all these different type of trauma therapies,
mhm.
like binaural beats, just all kind of stuff, deliverance, demonic deliverance,
Right.
anything you can think of to like deal
Uh-huh.
with this extensive trauma. And
Mhm.
I would get temporary relief, and then
Right.
I would be triggered again, and it would just come back.
Uh-huh.
And the revelation that finally came to me, Sister Cherise, it was so simple. It was like a slap upside the head. I mean, the way to stop being sad is to stop thinking about sad things. Like, there's no such thing
Right.
as is healing trauma. That's a misnomer, because trauma is something that happened to you in the past, and the past doesn't really exist. We don't live there
Right.
anymore. We're eternal beings. We live in the now. And so the only way a traumatic experience from your past can make you feel sad is if you give it attention. It's the focus that you put on it. So the more
Agree.
you try to heal from trauma, the more you bring it to the surface, the more it hurts. The
It's
way that that stops hurting is you take the power away from it by creating the life you want to live today. What makes you happy today? What makes you feel good today? What do you want to focus on today that feels like blessing, that feels like overflow, that feels like love, that feels like
mm,
favor, that feels like friendship, warmth, family? And so
yes.
what I really understood is that the way to feel better is feel better. I mean,
Just like that, right? That's the way to do it.
and when I started to take that approach, I mean,
Mhm.
in a very short amount of time, all of those traumatic feelings, because the trauma gets trapped in your cellular. Anything. It's not just trauma. Any
Right.
experience that you've ever had lives in your
Yeah.
cellular memory forever.
Yeah.
We're
Right.
eternal beings, so every experience that we have
Mhm.
expands us into our eternal greatness, right? So
Yes.
we're ever expanding like God. We're ever
Right.
increasing just like Him. So all
Yeah.
of those experiences collectively become a part of us, and that's why you can never get rid of it.
Right.
So that's why something will happen. It'll kind of trigger you,
Mhm.
because that memory is still active in your cells. Like, we have
Yeah.
370 trillion cells in our body, and
Mhm.
each one of those cells holds every memory of every experience you've ever had, ever. And so the experiences that you choose to tap into are going to
Mhm.
determine how you feel. So if you put your focus on all of your good experiences, then you're going to feel good. If
Amen.
you're focusing on your bad experiences, then you will feel bad. And
Right.
I know I'm kind of going deep into this, but it's real passionate for me. Like,
I
for
understand.
instance, when women say, "Oh, there's no good men out there. I'm never going to find a good man." If
Uh-huh.
that's what you're tapping into, you're always going to get that result. Like, if that's where your focus is, and that's
Right.
the experience that you had, and you choose to focus on that experience,
Uh-huh.
that is the experience you're going to draw to you over and over again,
Right.
because
Right.
you're always going to prove yourself right. People
Yeah.
don't realize that
Yeah.
you're always going to prove yourself. So if you
Yes.
say that you're sad, or there's no good men, or the economy is bad, so I'm going to be broke, or I can't
Right.
find a job, whatever it is that you're speaking over your life, everything
Uh-huh.
in the universe aligns to prove you right, because of what you believe about yourself and what you say about yourself is
Uh-huh.
always going to be proven right. So why not say what you want? That I'm beautiful, that I'm healthy, that I'm in a happy relationship, that I'm rich, that I create my own economy, that I have friends, that people love me, that they treat me well. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom,
I
boom,
understand.
boom. So that's how I got
Okay.
into comedy. I wanted to make people feel good. I want to make people feel good. I want them to laugh. And that's why I do clean comedy. I don't
All
want
right.
you laughing about getting molested when you were a child. That's not funny.
No,
I want
that's
you to
not fun
laugh
in
at
any
fun
way.
stuff.
You right.
I like making fun of vegans. I like making fun of aging, you know, make fun of silly stuff like how we hobble across the parking lot when somebody holds the door open for us and we too far away and we doing this courtesy run trying to
Yeah.
get to the door. Yeah, I like to laugh about silly stuff that's safe. That's not
Right.
gonna
I
bring
know
up,
that's right.
painful memories. So, anyway, that was a very long answer.
Well, you know what? That's okay. But I am going to go back because you did tell me to ask you this question. So let me ask you this question. How did you come up with the name SouLah the Legend? And exactly the way you spelt it and put the capitals where they are.
Okay, SouLah The Legend. Okay, so about in 2018, I went back to music school. I grew up with a love for music, always in the industry. I was a songwriter, I was a rapper from when I was 12, a songwriter from when I was 5. I was in all different kind of groups, but when God called me to ministry, he
Mhm.
told me to leave that behind because I was going down a dark path with that. He
Okay.
told me to leave that behind, and I did. I got married. We had 7 kids, and I just figured that was pretty much behind me. So I didn't think about that anymore. Well,
Okay.
life ended up taking a turn, and in 2018, I went back to music school. And when I was in music school, my professor was like, "You're really talented. Why aren't you an artist?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Like, I'm old. That's not on my
You
mind."
old?
Yeah, I was 43 at the time. Like, this is not a time to start a music career, you know? I was 44. Like, you don't start a music career at 44. You know what I'm saying? So I
All
was
right.
like, yeah, like that's not on my mind anymore. I just wanted to learn how to make some tracks and stuff.
Mhm.
So my professor gave me a challenge. He said, if you make an album, I'll nominate your album for the Grammys.
Oh, wow.
So mind you, I have no artist name. I haven't never produced a song. I haven't like been in that industry for probably 17 years or so.
Mhm.
So I was like, I love to be challenged. I'm like, okay. I was like, well, I need a name. I gotta make beats. I need a name. I need an album. So I was
Mhm.
trying to think of my name, and I wanted to use my initials. My name is Lanine Aneva Hanaya. Lanin means the beauty of worship. Aneva means humility. And Hanaya means the Lord has remembered you. So I love my name and I wanted to
Yeah.
incorporate that into my stage name.
Mhm.
So SouLah is the soul of Lanin Aneva Hanaya. That's why the L is capital in the middle. It's my
Oh,
initials. Yeah.
it's your initials. Okay, that's
Me,
it.
like in my music and in everything I do, my comedy, my writing, you're always getting the authentic me. You're getting the soul of me. You're getting the fullness of who I am. I'm really big on authenticity and being
Mhm.
genuine and being who God made me to be, not living up to anybody else's expectations or not allowing
Mhm.
anyone to define how I use my gifts. So a lot of just means I'm bringing the real me. The legend came from God speaking to me as I was going through this process of selecting a name.
Oh,
I was trying to figure out what my name was going to be. And he said this to me. He said, "You're trying to get famous in the world." He said, "You're already a legend in the spirit." And that's
all
where
right.
the legend came from. And I was like, wow. He's like, "You're already known, daughter. You're known everywhere."
Thanks,
I
bro.
was like, okay, wow. So yeah, a lot of people be like, "The legend, what's that all about?" You know, the legend. I was like, stay around me a little longer, you'll find out.
Okay. All right. That sounds good to me. Okay, now, before we get to that book, I have a couple of songs that I was listening to, all right? Even though you talked about it a little bit already, but Surviving This.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful song.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful. And now I know that song went into like surviving some of your like oh goodness, some of your suicide attempts. Did that song come from that?
No, I actually
No.
wrote that song at the beginning of COVID.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should know
Yeah.
that, right? Because the video, that's what it shows, right? Duh.
It was about surviving everything that comes. It was
Okay.
a good survival song. It wasn't just about COVID. It was about everything that we had to survive, even those of us who had gone through so much before the pandemic. And it's like, we're going to survive this too. So that was basically the message in the song. Like, we got this.
Okay.
And COVID was a scary time for me because I have lupus. And so, you know,
Okay.
back then they were like, if you have any kind of pre-existing,
Anything,
you're dead. You're dead. You know,
Right.
it was like,
So you need to stay away from everybody, and you need to,
which I did not do. I mean, you can't do that when you have 7 kids, you know.
Of course, there's no way. So no, it might have been the other one. So you did, and I think this is your son would have missed out.
Yeah. Okay. So would have missed out is a project that I did with my son, Bright Boy.
That was your son.
Yeah. So that was about our shared journey of overcoming attempted suicide. He attempted suicide as well.
Wow.
So my battle with suicidal depression. Nobody knew about that. The years that I was winning awards and preaching, and I had an award-winning radio show for a couple of years. All of these books, interviews, TV. Nobody knew that I was struggling with suicidal depression like that. I never told anybody. I would get through my little moments. I'd come out of it. I'd snap out of it, and lights, camera, action. In 2021, my 8-year-old son attempted suicide. And I was the only one who knew he had attempted suicide. And the reason that I knew he attempted suicide was because he used the exact same method that I had used when I was 18. And it was death by car accident, death by intentional car accident. So my very first suicide attempt was the same thing. It was me driving, and in a split second just deciding I was done, and I hit the gas and crashed into a tree. So he was 18. He borrowed my car. I'm going to say it that way. Took my car.
Right.
He crashed the car. And when I saw it and I went back to the site of the accident, I said, this wasn't an accident. I said, he did this on purpose. And I was the only one who knew. And it was only because I had done the same thing at the same age, 18.
Wow.
So when I went and talked to him about it, you know, he confessed to me that it was intentional. I got him some help. And on the other side of that, we wrote this song together, made a video together, wrote a book. And he's actually the vice president of my nonprofit. We were on TV talking about the song and everything. So, but him going through that is what actually caused me to be vocal. I feel like my silence, you know, there's a scripture that says they overcame Satan by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. And people overcome their battles by hearing about how you overcame yours.
Yes.
And I felt like through my silence, my son could have lost his life just because I never spoke up. So I was like, you know, I will not be quiet about this anymore. So from that point forward, I started to be very public about the battle that I was having.
Okay. Great. I love it. I love it. All right. So now let's get to this book.
Okay.
How to Love a Black Man. Respect him. And you did some updates in 2025.
Yes.
Okay. So let's just start out with how to love a black man, respect him. That's how to love him. Just respect him. That's it. That's beautiful.
It's my baby. I love this book so much. Listen, our brother Gary Chapman wrote a book called The Five Love Languages. I'm here to tell you, ladies, that a man's love language is respect. Okay? all of that other words of affirmation, actions, physical touch, gift giving, and what's the other one? Quality time. Those are subcategories. Those are important, but they're subcategories. Hands down, a man's love language is respect.
And how did you come to that? Why do you think men's love language is respect?
Well, sure. I mean, we can.
Don't get me wrong. We all want to be respected.
And a woman needs. So this is not even to say that a woman doesn't need respect. We need and deserve respect as well. The thing of it is that men can't function without it. And I think they can't, they're dysfunctional in a relationship without respect. You say they can't function without it, but they can't function in wholeness without respect. It really goes to a man's position in a relationship with him being a representation of God in a relationship. And listen, I'm not talking about whether or not the man deserves it. I just want to move that to the side for a minute because I hear you. I hear you, ladies. I hear it, right? Right?
Because you can see that neck. Listen, wait. When you say right, you can see that neck twisted. Like, what you talking about?
Right.
What about respecting me?
Right.
All that, right?
Sisters, queens, I got you. Just hear me out. Like, please hear me out. Out. But the functionality of a man. So, like, when we're talking about Black men, especially, like culturally, Black men have been so disrespected. So Black men, all men need respect, but I'm speaking specifically about Black men because Black men come to the table with a respect deficit just because of the way that they are treated. A Black man cannot go to the store without worrying about being arrested, shot, disrespected, accused of stealing. So already there is this pervasive disrespect and dishonor that he deals with outside of the home. Right. With a man being a representation of God, and that's why the Bible says, wives, respect your husbands, right, as unto the Lord. We are to reverence God. So that respect is a reverence for his stature in his position in a relationship. Respect is not about his behavior. It's about the mantle that he carries. Oh, come on now. That's good. I know you don't like me right now, but respect is not about a man's behavior. It's about the mantle that he carries. And so if a man is behaving, if a man of God is behaving in a way that is disrespectful, you don't punish him with bad behavior or disrespect. You got to let God handle that, right? Because he has to answer to God for how he's treating you, right? The Bible refers to us literally as a weaker vessel. Correct. So if you're the weaker vessel, how are we going to emasculate now and tear down the man that is supposed to be leading us when it has already been declared that we're too weak to lead? Look, if you don't like it, rip the page out of the Bible and talk to God. I don't fuck with you.
Look, you got to rip it out. Look, just talk to him because what's going to happen, right? Because that's what he said.
Right.
That's what God said.
Right.
He made us to help.
To help me. And I believe a woman's great gift is to help a man meet the king inside of him. So there's a chapter in the book called The King, the Fool, and the Slave. Chapter 4 is my favorite chapter. And in the book, I'm talking about a man's battle. So a man's great challenge on the earth is to tame his inner fool. It is to bring that inner fool in subjection to the king that he is. Every man has the capacity to walk and reign in kingship, but he has to tame his inner fool. That's every man. But a Black man has a third component to that. The Black man is dealing with a king, a fool, and a slave. Because inside of every Black man, remember, so I just talked about how those 370 trillion cells hold on to the memory of every trauma that's been experienced. That's why we have what is known as intergenerational trauma. Like in a church, we would call that a generational curse. But this is basically just traumatic experience that are passed through the DNA to the next generation. And so the pervasive abuse that we suffered during slavery is now coded into the DNA that when a Black man comes to the table, his ego is immediately challenged, his respect is challenged, his honor is challenged. And so a Black woman has a unique or a woman that's in a relationship with a black man. You know, I'm speaking to black women, but I know sometimes there's interracial relationships, so whatever.
Right.
A black woman has the unique opportunity, and I see it as an opportunity and a gift and an honor to help a black man meet the king inside of him, right? Because even if you think of it practically, if you think about how the physical body is made, right? A man has seeds of greatness in him, right? And the way a man's chemistry works, a man makes new semen every single day. A woman is born with however many eggs she's ever going to have. So most women are born with about 14,000 to 28,000 eggs. That's all they're ever going to have. But a man makes sperm every single day. Men are constantly creating greatness. Like they are the greatest creators. But you will never see the fullness of that creation come into fruition until he plants that in the womb of a woman. She is the one who carries it, nurtures it, and gives birth to it. So a woman has the unique gift and opportunity to give birth to the greatness that is inside of her man.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's what?
I love it. I just love it. I love it. I just love it. It's the way you said it. Of course, I love it.
Yeah. So I'm just like so passionate about this, and the reason that I wrote this book and how I came to write this book is really crazy because I mean I can say it and listen, I love you, all of my exes. This is no disrespect to anyone, okay? But my story is my story, and I've never been loved properly a day of my life. I've never been properly loved. I've been abused in every relationship that I've ever been in. I grew up without a father. The father figure that I had was abusive. I have very little contact with any kind of male relatives, like uncles. The uncles that I were closest to both molested me. I don't have a reason. If you look at my life, I don't have a reason to respect black men. And that's what's crazy about me writing the book.
Writing this book.
Like, people that know me, like, why did you even write this? Like, why do you even feel this way? And the reason that I wrote this is regardless of how I've been treated, first of all, I think men are amazing. I think black men are incredible. And regardless of some experiences that I had that were not pleasant, like I said, it's what you choose to focus on that is going to navigate you to your end, right? Into the experience that you're having now. But I believe that God allowed me to experience those things so I could speak to the pain points that women are dealing with that makes it hard to respect men. He preserved my honor and my awe of black men, regardless of what happened to me. He allowed me to go through those things, brought me through them still, but I'm not bitter. I'm not mad. I'm not like men are this, and I don't have any of those kind of feelings whatsoever. I have no animosity toward anybody that did anything to me because I understand that they were moving in brokenness, and I'm not making excuses, but when somebody hurts you, that's never about you. It's not personal.
It's never, right? That's the thing. It's never about you.
Never about me. So this wasn't personally because there's something wrong with me or they didn't like me. Right. I see the brokenness in men that needed to be healed, and I realized that God has given me the gift and the power and the strength and the love and the softness and the glory to nurture a man. And if I can speak to women's pain points like, hey sis, I know that he cheated, that he abused, that that you experienced it. Now I'm not encouraging you to stay with anybody that abuses you. Please understand that. I'm saying even if you've gone through those experiences with other men,
right? There is a man that you could be with that you can respect. And that's what you're saying. I know exactly.
Look, I talk about it in the book. Qualify your man. Don't think that you're gonna just grab some ninja off the street. I'm gonna say,
right.
Don't think you're gonna grab some ninja off the street and make him into a king, because he has to have a desire for that, and he has to have developed the capacity to reign in his kingship, right? You can only aid him if he already wants that. So please, I don't want to give you the impression that you can do this for just any man. What I'm saying is I can speak to why it's difficult that even when you find a great man and when you finally have a king in your presence, that these traumatic experiences that you've had makes it so difficult to trust, to yield, to
Right.
submit. And so that's, writing the book from this place of really understanding your pain points, but also having a deep awe and reverence for
Mhm.
Black men and understanding their brokenness as well. And just asking God, like, I love hard in my relationships. I give
Mhm.
everything. Why is it that I love this hard and I'm still not getting the result that I want?
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
ladies, I want you to understand this is not one of those books where it's just like, you need to submit, you need to listen to your.
Right.
No, this
It's
book is not that. This is me saying, sis, you love so hard. You deserve to be treated a certain way. You deserve to be pampered. You deserve reciprocation. But if you don't know how to speak a man's love language, you'll never get that result from him. So this book is really
right.
not about just teaching you how to respect a man. It's
Mhm.
showing you how to get the result that you want from him. It's showing you how to get the love you want so that you
Mm.
don't keep loving hard but wrong, right? And
Right.
it's also a good
Right.
communication tool for men.
Mhm.
Have something with the softness of a woman's voice, right? Because men can be kind of harsh sometimes. You
Right.
better respect me, woman. You know?
Right. That
So
is right.
this is a communication tool for men written in the softness of a woman's voice for them to
Mhm.
sit down with their significant other and say, hey, hun, the way you spoke to me earlier or what you did in front of my friends, hey,
Mhm.
SouLah said, in a book, key insight number 58, key insight number 58 says, if you do these things for me, it would be really helpful. So it's just such a great
Mhm.
communication tool to really heal, love, and to help couples experience relationship satisfaction and reciprocal love.
That's cool. And what did you update in 2025 to make it even better? What did you do?
So I wrote the book initially in 2018. I published it,
Right.
and look, I published it looking for answers at that time,
Okay.
hoping that it was going to work. I was unmarried at the time, hoping that it was going.
Okay.
So first of all, I know definitively that this book works now. Uh,
All right.
I used the book to get the
All right, girl.
with for so long to marry me. He bought me a $500,000 house. Baby, the book works, okay?
All right. Go ahead, girl. All right.
That's one thing. That's one thing. Now the 2025 edition is talking about how the
Okay.
book works, why it works, but I also have journal prompts in it, end of chapter questions, uh,
Oh.
new conclusions, new summaries. It has a lot more substance in it. And what I love most about it is it really encourages community engagement. I
Mhm.
have a Facebook page called Healing Black Love. It's a group. It's a group page called Healing Black Love, and throughout the book there are QR codes. And if you
Mhm.
scan the QR code, it will take you to
Mhm.
the Facebook group, and it will take you to a page where you can answer the end of chapter questions for that particular chapter. And so, it's only been a couple of weeks since I published it, but
Oh.
yeah, it's only been out since June 1st. I'm
Okay.
really hoping for some strong community engagement as I move into How to Love a Black Woman. Yes, I'm not going to leave you hanging. How to Love a Black Woman is coming.
Right.
Okay. But yeah, those are some of the big changes. And I talk a lot about a lot of the mistakes that I made in relationships,
Mhm.
even how, like I just said, I got that I got that man to marry me using all of these key insights in the book. There's 100 key insights on how to respect and love a man, how to speak in his love language.
Okay.
Doing this is not going to turn a bad situation into a good relationship, right?
Right.
And so I pursued a very toxic situation, and I
Mhm.
did prove that it works.
Mhm.
Don't go get something that you can't live with. Don't go get something that you can't live with.
Oh,
That's
goodness.
all I'm
All
saying.
right.
So that's why
I know what you mean.
the first and most important thing, Sister Sharice,
Mhm.
biggest lesson that I walked away with
Uh-huh.
is that self-love is the most important thing. You have to
Yeah.
choose yourself before you choose a man.
That's for sure.
You have to become the love that you deserve to attract the love that you
For
desire.
sure.
You have to become love first, and you have to first
Yeah,
become that for yourself.
for
And if you
sure.
want to avoid attracting love, that's going to be a burden, and that's, it should feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Feel good. This whole thing that love has to hurt. I don't know where that came from. Love is supposed to feel good. Does
It
it have
should.
tough moments? Yeah, but overwhelmingly, it should feel good. It should keep a smile on your face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's how it should be. And I
Yeah.
tell you, if you can't love yourself, you can't love anybody.
No, you cannot. You
Yep.
cannot. And we get into relationships thinking that somebody will fill the deficit of the love that we're not giving to
Right.
ourselves. So,
Yeah.
I have a certain extent of self love, but
Mm-hmm.
the 60% that I'm missing, I want you to come and give me that 60% now, right?
Right.
The
Right.
problem with that is your capacity to receive love will
Mm-hmm.
never be greater than the love you give yourself. Your
That's
capacity to receive love will never be greater than the
mhm.
love you give yourself. The love that you give yourself is what creates your overall capacity. So if
Yes.
you're only loving yourself to 40% capacity, you can have a man or woman in your life that is giving you 100% perfect unconditional love. You will still only be 40% full because your self love is what creates capacity.
Mm-mm.
And so
Go
you have
ahead. Yes.
right, right. So it's a capacity issue. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't even have
It
anything
is.
to do with the person. First and foremost, it's a capacity issue. So you have
Yeah.
to get your capacity to 100% before you try to connect with somebody else because they'll never be able to satisfy you.
No.
And so the only reason to ever get into a relationship is that you have achieved 100% unconditional love for self, and you're
Mm-hmm.
now ready to share that with somebody and have it
Right.
reciprocated back to you. So
Yeah.
it is a recycling or a reciprocation of unconditional love. I love me unconditionally. Now I can love you unconditionally, and I'm also able to receive the unconditional
Mhm.
love that starts with you and now back to me. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
A perfect love. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Girl. Oh, you.
Come back. Come
Okay.
on back, Sister Cherise. Come
I'm
back.
gonna tell you because like when I first saw it, I tell you I was one of those like, what's she talking about? Respect him. He better be starting to respect me. I'm sick of these Negroes. All right.
Right, right.
I said, see, all I had to do now was just talk to SouLah, and she brought me down a little. All right.
Right, right.
Now I'll read the next page because that cover got me a little.
Oh, thank you for hearing me out. Thank you for hearing me out.
Well, of course, because we need everybody to hear you. But guess what? They're going to be listening to you on Answer the Call Radio all week long, talking about respecting the Black man.
Yeah.
And the men are going to love it because all they're going to hear, all the Black men, all they're going to hear is, yeah, you better respect me. You better respect me. Oh, goodness. You know what that's going to look like. But then
Right,
we're gonna get them to buy the book, and we're gonna get them to read the whole book.
right. Fellas, read the whole book. Don't just
The
skip to
whole
the page where you proving a point to her. You got to read the
book. Okay.
entire thing because I
And
really
we
help
want
men see themselves. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
we want everybody go on Amazon, go to SouLah's website, get the book. How to Love a Black Man. Respect him. Buy the book and read the book, please. Okay? Because it might help a lot of Black people. I tell you. Because there's a lot of people out here suffering.
Right.
Oh, God, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Right, right.
Look, like I told you, we get to the end so quickly. We got about 5 minutes left.
Okay.
Is there anything that's on the horizon now that you want to tell people about? Anything that's coming up that you want to tell people about?
Yeah, well, my birthday is next week. I'll be turning 50 on July 2nd. So I'm so
Oh,
excited about
all
that.
right.
So,
Half a century, girl. All right.
yeah,
See
of
what's
course,
up.
to the 50s club.
All right.
So,
Look, you're July 2nd. I'm July 20th, girl.
okay,
Okay.
okay. You want
All right.
to
Yep.
Yeah, so I just ask
Beautiful.
everybody help me celebrate my 50th birthday, engage in my product. My Cash App is down there, of course. Send me
That's
$50.
right.
Of course.
Okay, right.
And
That's right. We have her Cash App. Send her a donation. You see the Cash App is Cash App Inspired Legacy.
yeah,
I mean, it's $ Inspired Legacy.
inspired legacy.
Do what you need to do. All right. And we
And
also
I
know.
also have a just a quick public announcement because this is so important.
Mhm.
I have a healthcare membership that I want to let everybody know about because I know insurance is like crazy right now.
It
I'm a
certainly
part
is.
of a healthcare membership that is not insurance, okay? It gives you 24/7 access to doctors, 24/7 access to mental health. This was huge for me with my mental health. You get free prescriptions and you
Mhm.
can have up to 8 family members on one plan. Okay. And it only costs about $100.
Is
So
it all? It's all over the United States.
everywhere in the United States, Guam, Puerto Rico, Alaska, any territory that the U.S. Owns. And so, as a traveling entrepreneur,
Uh
I'm
huh.
traveling around. I have access to my doctor anywhere because this is virtual telehealth.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
so, he can call in a prescription for me if I'm out of town. I can call,
Right.
but I've been able to cover all of my kids because none of us have insurance. And then with the pre-existing medical condition, with me having lupus, I,
Right.
I wasn't able to get insurance. So I definitely just wanted to let people know about that.
Nice.
If you go to
Can
my
we put that in the
website,
comments?
yeah,
Oh,
just
it's on your website. Cool.
call me. You can send me a text. My number is down there.
Nice.
Go to my
Nice.
website, DM me, and I can send the information. But that I just wanted to let people know about because it's been such a
That's cool.
blessing
Yeah.
to have some kind of affordable health
Yeah.
coverage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's really nice.
yeah.
And remember, answer the call. You're looking at the show. When you look at it, love, share, and remember our Cash App is $ATC Ministry. $ATC Ministry. Love and share us. Get on the radio station. Listen to some gospel music. All right. So do me a favor. I'm gonna put you back in the green room. I'm gonna
No, is it over already? No.
I'm telling you, I will always go so quick.
You are such a fun, great host. Thank you. I
Oh,
don't know where the other dude is, but we didn't need him. So
we didn't need him, right? Because us girls, we just need. And actually,
we handled this.
let
We
me
handled
fuck with you. Why am I putting you in the green room? I usually put you in the green room, and me and him do our little thing. So I'm by myself. You might as well stay with me, okay? And literally what I just said is what I usually say. We say, and I always say, he's Pastor Neil, I'm Sister Sharice, and it's answer the call. Why? Your time is now. And we end. So that's all we do. So SouLah, I just did everything. And I'm gonna say it one more time. SouLah, I was so happy to have you on. Okay. And hopefully I'm gonna get you back on and we're gonna get a lot of your music played next time. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna concentrate on your music next time. I promise you.
And you
All
guys
right.
can find all of my music if you go to my website, SouLah.
Oh yeah. Look, I only went to a couple. You have a whole lot up there. I gotta listen to the rest.
I do. Now, fair warning, I am not a gospel artist, so you're gonna get a mix of stuff. So okay.
That's all right.
But I do have some gospel songs on there. You can find comedy on my YouTube channel, some of my speaking materials, all of my books are on my website. So just go to my website, SouLah.me. You will find all things SouLah The Legend.
Beautiful.
And you can follow all of my socials. So please follow me on TikTok, Facebook,
Yeah,
Instagram.
she's on
I
everything.
do
She's
a
on.
daily series called Self Mastery. I am
Uh-huh.
day 180 today. I'm on day 180. So for 180 days straight, I'm going to do it for the whole year. I make a 1
Nice.
to 3 minute video just
Okay.
talking about how to master your life, master your emotions, your mindset. So
Beautiful.
follow that series. You can get it on all my social media sites.
Okay. Beautiful. All right. Be saying good night. Peace out, everybody.
Bye. Thank you. Answer the call. I appreciate you.
Now don't go anywhere, okay?
Okay.
I'm talking to you, SouLah, all right? Okay. Let
Okay.
me just get out of this stream. Like, come on now.